What up, webheads? It's me, your boy DeMarco.
He did it again. He did it again. It's me. It's me.
I forgot about that. It's been a minute since we recorded.
He's trying to kick me out. That's what's happening.
You know who the real host of the show is.
You know who it is. Like you said, this is DeMarco. This is Steven. I almost did it myself. And
we're in a garage.
We're in a garage. Don't mind any mess that you might see. Mind your business. It's real simple. It costs you nothing. This is the Webheads Podcast. We're back again for another week of random Marvel events.
Yep.
Who knows what's gonna happen? We do. You probably.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But you clicked on this for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't, like, comment.
Remember, smash that subscribe button.
Smash. Hulk, smash that subscribe button, please, and share this with your friends.
Yes. Even if it's to say, look at these two idiots.
Yeah.
They don't know anything.
Dummies.
They don't know anything about comic books. Let's send this to Kevin Feige and make him laugh, and whoever the head of Marvel Comics is.
Yeah.
They can have a good laugh.
Don't send it to Victoria Alonso, though.
Yeah, I guess not.
She's not going to do us anything.
Her email's no longer valid at Marvel Studios.
That email is going to bounce back.
The mailer damage. This email does not exist.
Damn, that was quick. But yeah, today we are doing what?
We're doing House of X and Powers of X.
An X-Men story.
Yeah. Surprisingly, with my
Fun
history
stuff.
of X-Men.
It's a complicated history with those people.
Yeah. Very complicated.
Yeah.
Very unique, I would say.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. I guess first, what have you been up to?
Well, it's been a minute since we recorded.
Couple weeks.
Couple of weeks. Let's see. Came back from Washington. We went to go visit me and our sister Janae went to go visit our dad in Washington. So that was pretty cool. We ended up doing a lot of stuff that I didn't think we would do, or like.
I was surprised when I heard all this stuff.
Yeah, we went go-karting, we went to the gun range, we got tattoos, we did a bunch of stuff. And it was cool because I told Janae when we got there, I was like, I'm cool if we just kind of like chill at the house, you know, we just spend time with Dad. And then first day we get there, he's like, hey, let's go to the gun range. And I was like...
Yeah, he was stressing about trying to find something to do with you guys. It's like... when when the parents get divorced and the dad's like, no, I gotta be the fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta find something for these kids to do.
So we ended up going to the gun range. Your dad brought his guns. We ended up shooting those. Very, like, a lot of power in a gun.
Yeah, I've never gone.
Yeah. It's definitely like a... Because it's not like you can just unload a clip. Like, you can just hold the trigger and pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta pull the trigger, count to two, pull it again. So you really feel each shot.
Yeah.
And each time I did it, I was like, do I want to keep doing this? And I do it again. Do I want to keep doing this? So it was a strange thing.
Yeah, I've never gone to the gun range. I don't need practice. I'm shooting for the heavens.
Oh, a fun thing for you and I and anybody else who wears glasses when you go to the gun range, you have to wear protective glasses that usually do not fit with our glasses either over or anything. So good luck trying to aim.
Perfect.
If you're fishing. I was trying to aim and I was like, I can't see shit right now.
And Dad's like, aim for the head.
Yeah,
I can't see the head.
Exactly what he told me. He was like, go for the head. I'm like, dude, I think I am, but I can't confirm.
That's just a big potato at the end over there. I can't see anything.
So he brought it hella close to maybe where that cord is, and I was just like, yeah.
2 feet away. Yeah, that's it. All right, cool.
So we did that. We went go-karting, which is kind of fun. I mean, it is fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a...
I haven't done that
thing
for a while.
Yeah. So we were going fast. We were just zipping around corners, drifting. There was one part where Janae was like, kind of like driving Miss Daisy on a Sunday afternoon, just around the cart. And I couldn't get from around her because she kept making like these wide turns. And then we get to this point where it's basically like a U.
Mm.
And I was stuck behind her, and she and this other person were about to like crash.
Mm.
So I cut around them, gunned it, hit that turn, and I was out.
Flip her off and she drive by. That's a Bay Area driver.
I move out the way. So we did that. I came back from there. Came back with a cold actually, so that was fun. What else? Started working from home. 2 days out of the week, so that's been cool. Just yesterday, we went go-karting again with a couple other friends. We went to IKEA. I won't share the whole story here because it's fun. We'll save it for the other show.
Yeah.
But me, Juan, Kyle, Monica, Brenda, Danny, Susanna, everybody. We all went to IKEA just to kind of have like a day trip. But main reason we're building a studio at Monica's dad's house, so we wanted to like make it look nice and have like chairs. So we get to IKEA, we get to the chair section, and like all these chairs are hella expensive, $200-300 for like good comfortable chairs. So we're just like, damn, like none of these are like what we want, and we don't want to spend that much money on a chair. So we're like, all right, let's just keep walking, see if we find anything. We go to the whole store, don't find a thing, and then we're like kind of like defeated at the end, about to check out, but we're all just like tired, so we're sitting in like a little patio area. Brenda's like, oh, let me go over to the as-is section. So she goes over there. We're chilling, me, Juan, and
I didn't know
Danny.
they had an as-is section.
Yeah.
That's brand new.
Yeah. So they go over there.
Sure.
5 minutes later, Brenda calls. She's like, hey, come over here. We think we found something. So we go over there. There's these chairs, right? But there's no cover on them, so it's just like the inside of the chair. Yeah. And there's 3 of them. So she's like, oh, these would be perfect for you guys, but there's only 3. And then there's one with like no legs sitting there. So we were like, we could get that one. So we're sitting there thinking, like, damn, do we want to do this? And then we're sitting there, and Monica's like, wait, there's one over there. So she points. There's one all the way in the back. 4 chairs. So we're like, oh shit, we gotta get them. So
the camera zooms in on the chairs.
And there's like people trying to like get into.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody grab a chair. So everybody grabs a chair. Me and Juan go grab like 2 of those carts. We come back, throw the chairs on there. Perfect. All the chairs have their legs. All the chairs don't have covers, but it's fine. They're only $60, and they originally think 200 or 250 or something.
It's not bad.
And they had more, but they didn't come with the legs, and they didn't come with covers. So all you're buying is.
Are they like swivel chairs? Or
No,
like
they're like
they're stationary chairs with no legs?
Yeah. So like you could buy the chair with no legs, but they don't sell the legs. They don't sell the covers. So you have to find all out on your own. But luckily we found the 4 with legs.
There you go. I didn't know they had an as-is section.
Yeah,
Where's it at?
Towards like the registers.
Really?
Yeah, like the very end. You go in there.
Huh.
Couches, chairs, TV stands. It might be scratched or something,
Yeah.
but you get it as is. And then I think Brenda said on Wednesdays everything's half off in there.
I know where I'm going Wednesday then.
Yeah, they got some nice stuff in there.
Damn, I didn't even know that. I always just like get all my stuff and then just walk straight to the registers.
You'd be surprised if you see.
That might be my Wednesday thing.
Yeah.
Get some meatballs.
Yo, the meatballs, not doing it anymore.
Really? I had them it might have been like a year ago, maybe.
First off, I love the meatballs. Like I would go in there, mashed potatoes, the lingonberry sauce, whatever, eat that shit up. Yesterday I went no flavor at all to any of that, and they gave you a big ass thing of peas too. No one ate their peas. We had a plate full of peas at the end of it.
I don't remember the peas being
But there's that. Yeah, the food is no longer as good as
Was it ever really good though?
I used to think it was pretty good. I mean, for the price, I guess maybe.
Yeah. I
guess-
don't know. Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's been within the last year that I've gone. and I had some of the meatballs. But I can't. Maybe I had the vegan ones. I can't
Maybe.
remember.
Maybe I did too. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
What else happened yesterday? Something else happened there. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we loaded up the chairs and luckily Danny was smart. She was like, "We're taking my car," so we were able to get 2 chairs in there.
It's not fitting yours.
Brenda had she has a RAV4, so we were able to fit 2 in hers as well. Drove over to Monica's dad's house, threw them in the house.
Are you guys adding more people to the show now?
No,
No, just 4 you guys.
just the 4. But like if we have guests, I think we want to get another chair, just to call it.
Should have got the one with no legs.
That's what we were gonna do. We were gonna do that, and just make you guys sit on,
just sitting down.
sit on the floor like this, legs just straight out, because
Your knees to your chest. Oh, hey guys. So
we want you to be as uncomfortable as possible.
listen, I'm gonna since I have somebody from Memories guaranteed here right now, I'm gonna ask you because you're here. Can I be on the show this year?
Yeah,
I want to come in person.
yeah.
I'm not doing phone calls.
We want guests. We want to have people on, especially because we're going. This is a hot scoop for everybody listening and
Alright.
watching.
Let's hear it.
We also are going to do video.
All right.
So we got cameras.
Mm-hmm.
We got video cameras.
You got cameras and video cameras?
We got phone cameras.
Oh,
We got all different types of cameras. Y'all gonna see all different sides of people.
These boys-
Left side of the face, right side of the face, straight ahead.
man. I gotta start doing it on this show, but when you talk, I'm just gonna start looking at the camera and just start hitting it
Who's
with the
DJ?
I don't know. I have no idea. All I hear is I don't know who's doing this. You know what? There's a sports field right there, so maybe. But I don't know. Still, I don't know what's happening. They're going crazy with this.
Someone's really excited. They're bringing out the kids, the little league of kids.
Yeah.
Dun dun. Dun dun.
Coming
dun,
up
dun,
to bat.
Dun dun. 3'7",
Jackie Thompson.
40 pounds. He's a hitter with no quitters. It's David Bronson.
The king of dingers. Let's go!
Do like bat tricks.
Yeah.
They're
They're like those, they're doing like those Savannah bananas out there. The whole team, the whole defense is dancing and shit. You guys gotta relax. They're going crazy with that. I wouldn't even be surprised if the mic picks it up. It's crazy.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Oh man. I was gonna say nothing, but yeah, nothing. My brother-in-law him and his wife had their baby.
Congrats.
So congrats to Fazil and Nas.
It's a new baby in the family.
Yeah, she was a couple. Sorry, guys. It was a couple weeks early. Gotta make sure I get the edit point in there. She was a couple weeks early, so she's a little light, but the doctor says she's healthy.
Good,
She's
good.
very cute, surprisingly for a newborn. Because most of them aren't. Mine wasn't for the first couple of days. Yeah, so she's cool.
when you saw like 2-day-old Zara,
Yeah.
were you like, damn, we made it?
I
don't
worried.
want to have kids.
I was a little worried at first. Like the first day when she came out, I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like this is the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. She had the chubby cheeks. Like I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then like after the first couple of days, they start to lose a little bit of weight because they're not getting their food the way they used to. So they start losing like a little bit of weight. And then I was like, oh man, that's not what I expected. But then they start to gain the weight back pretty quick. So it's like, oh okay, now it's fine. But Zara, I'm not saying Zara was ugly as a baby. I just didn't. When it's your own kid, it's like, oh man, I thought that was just everybody else's kid. So it's a little off-putting at first, but it didn't last long.
Yeah.
But there are some most newborns are just like aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Fazil and Nas. They had their baby last week.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, DJ hit it. So that was that. Their whole family's been going over there seeing the baby. But the problem is they live on like a third story apartment. So it's like it's a pain in the ass to get up there sometimes, especially for the older people. But I mean, what are you gonna do? And then for some reason, the apartment doesn't have an elevator. Like, I feel like
Honestly,
anything over 2 stories, you should have an elevator.
I've seen lots of apartments with no elevators.
It's weird.
Actually, when I seen one with the elevator, I was like, "This is smart."
I've seen
this.
shitty
Like,
apartment
this is
buildings.
nice.
I've seen shitty apartment buildings with elevators in. Like, man, come on. And this is a new apartment complex. Like, this is like in the last couple of years it was built. 3 stories. But he didn't want people stomping above him, so he was like, I gotta get to the top. But I get that part too, because we lived on the bottom floor of an apartment complex one time, and we lucked out because those people were just like light-footed, because you didn't hear them that often. But every once in a while, homeboy must have been pissed. He was just,
Yeah.
like, oh man, chill out. But it was never like 2, 3 in the morning type stuff.
God have mercy for whoever lives under us if we have an apartment, because Danny is heavy-footed.
Man.
This woman will.
I can't move to an apartment again. If I do, I gotta be on the first floor. With Zara,
Oh yeah,
that girl.
she's a jumping machine.
So our dining room area is right below our bedroom, and she'll be in the room. Sometimes I'll be down at the table like reading or eating, and it sounds like there's a 300-pound man above me. Like the stomping and the jumping that she does, every time I'm always scared that she's just gonna come crashing down on top of me. Like the lamp is shaking. Like, oh shit! It's like this is what I imagine people in like the Godzilla universe think every time like he comes out. Everything starts shaking. The windows are moving. It's like, oh God, no! Did I pay the insurance this month? Please. That's scary as hell. But yeah. So other than Fazil's newborn baby, just work. That's it, really. Comic books. Been reading a lot of comic books. I've been trying to. I think I said it a few episodes ago. I've been going through reading Secret Wars, the 2015 one. But I'm still, of course, me. I'm starting from like, if somebody gives me a suggestion to start 5 years before, I guess what I'm starting 5 years before. So I started with the Fantastic Four Jonathan Hickman run. I went through that, and then we got to jump a few years later when he starts doing I don't know if it's a few years later, but after the Fantastic Four run, he starts doing Avengers and New Avengers. But then I didn't realize until I started reading everything that to get to Secret Wars, I actually have to go through like 2 or 3 other events.
Yeah.
So I just got to Infinity right now. I'm not sure how that's panning out, but
I forgot how that ends. Really.
yeah, I read that for Secret Wars, it's one of those events where like people say it was a million times better on the first read when you're reading through everything because you don't know what it's leading to.
Yeah.
So knowing that everything that you're reading leads to Secret Wars kind of changes how it ends for you. But everybody still says it's great nonetheless. So I'm hoping that that's how it stays. But I think that Jonathan Hickman's writing is making me better at discerning whether the current stuff that I'm reading is good or not.
Mm.
because his writing is just really that good, and his storytelling is just really that good, especially over like I really we've been doing this for 2 years now, and we've seen how events can pan out over the 6 months to 12 months or whatever it is,
Mm.
and how like there's so much filler and like all this random shit in there. Like he doesn't have that. Like his is like it's like he's writing a movie like every time, and there's like no filler in there. So like now like reading like the current stuff like on some of the books that I'm reading I'm like 10, 11, 12 issues in. Sometimes some of it's more. Um, and then now I'm like on some of those I'm like maybe this isn't so good. Maybe I'm just reading this every week because I just like the character, but the story is not that good. So I've stopped picking up a few, but he's good.
You know, I never thought of doing this until you just said it, but I was like, I should read based off of like the writer sometimes, like, because there's writers that I like their stuff and I want to read,
Yeah.
but I think I was mostly going off of the character or the art,
Yeah.
you know, so like I didn't really pay attention to who the writer was.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jonathan Hickman just because I did read the Secret Wars run and everything and the Avengers and all that. And there's like a lot of writers that aren't writing for Marvel anymore that I knew of, but like right now, I know like what's his name, Donny Cates.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing like the Venom stuff. I like that.
Yeah. I like Chip Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah,
He's really good too.
yeah. Jonathan Hickman. His what we're gonna be talking about today. He's doing House and Powers of X.
Okay.
So, and that's what I kind of. Well, I'll wait till we start talking about it, but yeah, there's some things in the Avengers that I'm starting to recognize in here, in his writing style, and I was like, huh, okay, yeah,
Yeah. No, it's been it's making comics a little bit more enjoyable. I'm reading the Secret War stuff at my own pace, so we'll see how it goes. How long it takes me to actually finish everything. And here goes Robbie Rodello texting me. Hey, I hope you guys have a good pod. Crush it, man. Shout out to Robbie Rodello.
Man, that guy's too nice.
He's
He's really like the nicest
he's
guy you'll ever meet.
he's gonna edit this and like probably try to cut it out or something. But he is literally the nicest person that
Yeah,
I'm sure most people know. He's the nicest person I know.
like
Even,
I thought I was nice, but I met him and I'm like, I'm an asshole.
I know I'm not nice. I know I'm a decent person at best. I know that. But when I see him or when I'm around him, I think like, oh, like there's some things that go through my head like that's not good.
It's like he makes you like look at your whole life and be like, damn, I shouldn't have done that third grade.
He changes. I don't know what he does, but it's like he shows up and it's just like, no, I gotta be better. Like every time, I gotta be better. Even when Ferial came by Grandma's house that time and he was there, we were driving home and she was like, I really love him. He's so nice. Like he's like the sweetest person. And I was like, yeah, no, like everybody knows that. Grandma loves him. Like there's so many times we go over to Grandma's house and I get there. She's like, and we're just talking about random stuff, and she's like, so when's Robert coming back? It's like, I don't know. I told him he can come by anytime he wants to. And she's like, oh, okay, just let me know. He's so, the positivity that man has
Yeah.
is just like out of this world. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's
If you ever have a chance to meet the man,
Yeah.
embrace it.
Take it, film it for yourself. So you can go back to it.
When you're having those awfully bad days, just
Just replay the video of you meeting Rob. Because it'll come back.
it'll set you right back on course.
Yeah. You having a shitty week at work, play that video back. And Rob was right. Yeah. I do need to have a good day today. And it's simple stuff. Like, it's funny because I talked to him one time. He was like, hey, do you mind if I call you today? First of all, nobody ever,
Yeah.
like, asked to call. It's,
They just
like,
call.
they just call, and then it's like, oh, are you busy? Okay, cool. And then they talk to you for 45 minutes. Like, no, fam, I was busy. He called, or he texted me. He was like, hey, can I call you in a little bit? Gave me a time frame and everything. Called me. We were on the phone for like 45 minutes. I didn't care at all. I was at work. I had stuff to do. I did not give a shit. Like, stop. And even in the middle of it, he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm keeping you. Don't worry about it. Don't care. Just keep calling, man. I do not care. You got it. I love that guy. You better not try to cut it out either. But let's see what else we got. So I've done nothing. Just read comic books. Saw a brand new baby. Ferrio's cousin is here right now with her baby, and that thing, she's so freaking cute. I just want to have babies around all the time. Not all of mine. Did you hear those footsteps? That's her. I know it is. What else? That's it. The comic books we got coming out. Yeah, that's not where I was supposed to be. I don't even remember how to work this. Okay, there we go. Comic books for, what's the week coming out? The 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, number 11. Cosmic Ghost Rider, number 2. Ghost Rider, number 13. Iron Man, number 2. Immoral X-Men, number 3. The Sins of Sinister event that's going right now. I gotta be honest, I think I'm a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 6 or 7 issues in, and I think there's only like 4 more, but I'm kind of underwhelmed. Joe Fixit, number 4. I stopped that after number 1. Planet of the Apes, number 1. Rogue and Gambit, number 2. The first one was surprisingly good. Scarlet Witch, number 4. Those ones are pretty cool. Who showed up in there? So in that one, Scarlet Witch has like not a library, a bookstore, where one of the doors leading into the bookstore is like if you're anywhere in the world and you're like at your wit's end and you need like an answer for something or a solution for something, you end up walking through a door and that door just happens to open up into her bookstore and she helps you like try to fix things or solve things. So far she's had like a random person, Vivian, Vision's daughter, Vision's daughter was in one of them. Polaris showed up in one. It's been fun. I really like Polaris.
Her sister.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Spider-Gwen, Shadow Clones, number 2. Spider-Man, number 7. That's the end of the Spider-Verse story. That one's really interesting right now. I want to give away spoilers, but I won't. That one's really good. What else? The Amazing Spider-Man, number 23. The Avengers War Across Time. That one's pretty good too. Kang is trying to find he's going through time trying to find the Avengers at their weakest point so he could take over. Because Earth's Avengers are the only ones that he hasn't really defeated. So he's doing what he can. Venom number 18 and Wolverine number 32. So that's everything that's coming out on April 5th. There's some second printings, some trade paperbacks. April 12th, we got Bloodvine, Daughter of Blade, number 3. Captain America Cold War Alpha, number 1. And that's Sam and Steve meeting back up again. Captain Marvel, number 48. Carnage, number 12. Fantastic Four, number 6. That story's crazy right now.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah. Read freaking they got into some trouble fighting some I forgot who it was. I think it was like Nihilus and like all his minions from the negative zone. I think. I don't remember that part. But they ended up having to displace like the first or the top like 4 floors of the building in time, and now they can't like that part of the building doesn't come back for like a whole year. And Ben and Alicia's kids were up there, so like Ben and Alicia just like lost it. They took off, and then they were gone for like months and months. And Johnny Storm has a mustache. Hi Zara.
Hi, Zara.
You gotta go back inside, okay? Johnny Storm has a nasty looking motorcycle mustache with handlebars. But it's good. Yeah. And the first 4 covers were they have variants done by Alex Ross. The man is amazing. I tell you what, the man is amazing. There's a new Guardians of the Galaxy, number 1. You can check that out. Marvel Voices, Spider-Verse, number 1. Miles Morales, number 5. Moon Knight, number 22. Silver Surfer Ghostlight, number 3. I stopped at number 2. Wasn't a fan of it. Didn't like where it was going, really. Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, number 3. That's the last Storm one for the Sins of Sinister story. X-23 Deadly Regenesis, number 2. And X-Men, number 21. And there's going to be a new Alligator Loki story on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's one thing too. So, I ordered I get my comic books every week, and the store that I go to is Crush in Castro Valley, and I use this app called Comic Hub, where you could just go through the different covers and everything, pick which ones you want, stuff like that. But not everything that you pick is going to be guaranteed that you're going to get it. So I was looking forward to this past week because that's when that Jeff story came out, the little shark. And I think I showed you the cover. It's like a Jaws looking one, and I never got it. And then I didn't see the book anywhere in the store, so I couldn't even like pick up the story. So now I gotta like go to like all those different comic book stores this week to try to find it. I was really upset about it too. Damn, man. But that's all I got for comic books. That's what I've been up to. That's it.
Well, just real quick so we can jump into the story. Let's jump into some Marvel news that happened recently.
All right, you want to take a break real quick first?
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Okay. Let's go.
Alright, we're back.
Let's do it. What news do we got?
So, big news, MCU news.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel producer Victoria Alonso is out.
She's out.
And before we jump further into it, we know this is old news. We know this has happened.
We do this
prior.
every 2 weeks, guys.
You guys are going to get this another week or two after.
Yeah.
You know, we know that, but we want to talk about it because it's a big thing, and it's gonna always we're always gonna have topics to talk about that are old news.
Yeah.
But we want to give our input on it. So yeah, she's out.
Yeah. So there was rumors in the beginning of why she got kicked out.
Yeah.
Or why they got rid of her, saying that it was like she's creating a toxic workplace and all that stuff. But what it really was because she worked on a different movie for an outside studio.
Yeah.
And they told her, you can't do that.
Well, they said it was a breach of contract, but I think I had read somewhere that she had gotten like the go ahead to do it, or her lawyer saying that she got the go ahead to go and produce that movie. But then someone else is saying no, it's a breach of contract. Someone at Disney said it was a breach of contract, and your contract says you can't work on any movies.
Yeah.
I heard other rumors it was due to her not wanting to blur a gay pride flag in Ant-Man and the Wasp, or Quantumania. She was told to blur it. She said no.
That I don't believe.
That seems like a little far to go for just
America Chavez had a pride flag on her jacket the whole time.
So that doesn't seem like that's the actual reason. I mean, we may never know the actual reason.
Probably.
I mean, all is pretty much going to be handled behind closed doors anyways. I doubt she'll be rehired or anything, but I mean, over the past, she's been working there for 17 years?
Something like that, yeah.
And I mean, she's the head of like the special effects and like the sets and all that stuff. Like, what do you think now that she's out, the new person? Like, do you think we're gonna see changes in how people are seeing the special effects or the responses people are giving? You need to make a difference.
I don't think that we're gonna see like. If anything, I hope that we see a change in the quality of the visual effects. But I think that I don't know if that's gonna come because she's gone, or if it's gonna come because they've lightened the load of the projects we're gonna get this year. Because for the last Phase 4 was the last 2-3 years. They put out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, they even joked about it at She-Hulk. Like we don't have time to reanimate this. So like, you gotta like just get to it. Like so I don't know if that's gonna, if the visual effects are gonna get better because she's gone. I don't think that that's the case. I think it's just gonna solely be because they have less projects coming.
I mean, yeah, and like I agree. Like, I don't think she's the sole reason a lot of the stuff didn't look as good as it could have looked. It's like if you're putting out 15 projects a year, and someone has a deadline, they're gonna be maybe not the best person to be around, or it may be like a little, not the best,
I mean,
which isn't a reason to treat people bad, but like,
if that is the case, if that's what she was doing, like treating people bad because like, oh no,
man down.
Now you guys saw behind the scenes. If she was treating people badly because like she was stressed out of work, it's not a good enough excuse. But I mean, I get the stress that she could be under because like I do pest control and sometimes I do like 2 or 3 jobs a day.
Yeah.
And they try to throw a 4th one at me. It's like, yo, I don't have time for this. Like I don't want to do overtime. Like, but for her, like it's on a whole different level. Like, you have
multi-million-dollar projects that are like you're responsible for.
Yeah, there's no just like, oh, I don't really have time for that. So like, it's like, no, Victoria, you gotta find somebody that finish these visual effects for this show.
And I hear, I don't know if this is true or not, but her and Kevin Feige were like single-handedly approving all special effects like coming through. So it's like you're sitting through, like looking through. I don't know if it's frame by frame or just shot by shot, but like, okay, this looks good. That needs a little bit more work.
Yeah.
You know, and like we said, 10, 15 projects coming out a year.
Yeah, maybe that's just not a single person's job.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's more of a. I'm sure they have a team that does it, but maybe it's like there's just not one person that's actually approving everything. You have a team running through all this stuff, and maybe like that makes the process faster. You can get it back to the visual effects team faster. They have more time to work on it instead of just maybe a few people looking at it and saying, "Well, give me a day or two to look at it, and I'll send it back if there's anything that needs to be fixed." Like, I don't know the whole process over there, but
Yeah.
it seems like there's not enough cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for what they're trying to put out.
Yeah.
Now that they're kind of lessening what we're getting, I'm
Yeah.
glad that they're doing that
Mhm.
because it made me realize just like, remember how special Marvel movies felt when you're getting 2 or 3 a
Yeah.
year? You're like, oh shit, like I gotta wait a couple more months, but I want to get this movie.
Mhm.
I want to get this movie at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm grateful that we had that year or two where we're getting like
Mhm.
something every month. It felt like, but like it kind of took away that like specialness of like
A little bit, yeah.
keeping up with everything, right?
Mhm.
Like you were just like,
And I think them cutting it down again, because you know how everybody's been talking about like Marvel fatigue, like or the superhero movies dying out, and it's like I think if they kept at the pace that they've been going for the last couple of years, you might have hit that.
yeah,
You might have hit it sooner than you wanted to. I mean, I'm sure they don't want to hit it at all, but you keep running a project almost every month like you were, yeah, you're gonna hit it. But like, if you're gonna cut it down, like it seems like they have and do was like 2 shows this year or 2 or 3 shows this year, and then I mean you're already halfway done with the movies coming out this year. I think.
yeah. I think did one more, 2 more,
Guardians in May.
and the Marvels in November.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a good, like, stretch in between. Like, it's like, damn, like, when's the next one coming out?
Yeah,
Like,
that
5
make me
months?
want it.
Yeah.
Like, they'll just keep handing me food. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Because then that's that fatigue. It's like, oh, no, I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no, okay. You're good. Keep it. I'm not hungry. And, yeah, I do. All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I don't remember what I was saying.
Just about the fatigue and like,
Yeah, no, it's just like you can only do so much and keep giving people all that stuff. Like, yeah, I am grateful that we got all that stuff, like you said, because it's just you're bringing all the stuff from comic books to life.
yeah,
So like, I'm not gonna ever be mad at it. And like now, in like 10, 15, 20 years, like that time rate doesn't mean anything to me because now I just ingested all of my own pace. I have even more to take in, and cool, I'm not mad at it.
yeah,
But like at the time, like towards the end, it was like, oh, you only got a few more weeks until like something new comes out, right? Like, cause what was that year we had? Like, I don't remember the stretch, but I remember it was like Hawkeye, and then like a week and a half later, Spider-Man came out.
oh yeah,
And then I was like, damn, that's quick. But like in that 6 months in that time, it was literally like one would end, and then like 2 weeks later we had something
Yeah.
else.
and it felt good because it's like we hadn't got anything like that
Yeah.
before, but now that we're like,
Well, we're back.
should we start over?
No.
Okay, but yeah, now that we have it, it's just like cool.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not ever gonna not be grateful that it's out. But I think they did themselves a favor, really. Not or lessening their release schedule. Like cool. It might take a little bit longer and I'm sure there's still some like secret projects that are still gonna come up. But I'm looking forward to what we have left this year. Secret Invasion comes.
I think we're getting a new trailer
June?
for that. At the time of this recording, tomorrow, there's supposed to be a new trailer.
Okay.
And then I think a new trailer for Guardians. Our tickets go on sale tomorrow.
Yeah, tickets on sale. Yeah, Secret Invasion comes out in June, Guardians in May, and Marvel's in November. I feel like there's another show.
There's a rumor Loki is supposed to come out some
season
this year,
yeah.
but we don't know. Push.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with that. With some other news that happened fairly recently in the character or actor in that show, Jonathan Majors.
Oh. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was saying it's not true.
Yeah.
He said he has video evidence of it not being true. So, we gonna see. We gonna see. I can't, as someone who's half black, I'm gonna say that I'm rooting for him and hoping that it's not true.
Yeah. Cause I liked him in the movies that I've seen him in.
He's an amazing actor.
Yeah. But I mean that
R. Kelly's a good singer.
Yeah.
So
you only get so far with the good acting.
Yeah, that's only gonna buy you so much credit. So I'm praying that you have that video evidence and it's all proving your side of the story.
Yeah.
If
Because otherwise, Marvel's gonna have some.
you got some explaining to do.
To cover up.
Sorry, Lucy, you got some real explaining to do. Because I don't know how you're gonna pull that one off. That's not gonna work.
Some other quick news before we jump into the story. Disney's been like laying off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
One of the people they did lay off though was Ike Perlmutter or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Pearl Meyer or something like that. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, he was I think Marvel CEO or something at some point.
Yeah.
And was just terrible racist, just cheap guy. Always looking for a way to like save money. He didn't want to pay Robert Downey Jr. to come back in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
He was fine with Terrence Howard being replaced with Don Cheadle because he figured nobody would notice a different black guy. Just like a bunch of just shitty things he did.
Yeah.
And I guess now he over the past I think 5-6 years he hasn't had like a real big hand in Marvel. I guess he's just been running more the product deal stuff and
yeah, they I forgot what movie it was, but he didn't. What movie? Oh, Iron Man 3. He I forgot what the character's name was, but there was a woman in there who the director or the writer originally wanted this woman to be the villain in the movie. But he said that oh my God. He said that a woman's not going to sell toys.
oh yeah.
So you guys got to change it. That was it. He was like, you guys got to change it. Whose video was that? You watch that girl Jay Stoops?
No.
There's a girl on her name is Jay Stoops on TikTok. And she made a video about it and how much of a shitty person he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're glad he's gone.
Yeah. So let me look into the camera and tell you this is a strong fuck you, buddy. Kiss my ass.
You and your weirdo friends.
They were waiting to get you out of there.
Nobody wanted you.
We've only heard of one other person being let go from Marvel so far. And you were the first person we heard about it. Kick rock, buddy. and kiss my ass.
So he's gone.
Get out of here.
Good
Get bummed.
riddance. Hope we never hear from you ever again.
Never again.
All racist. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we'll end it on that lovely note.
Yeah.
We'll jump into this week's story.
What we got?
We got
House of X.
House of X and Powers of X.
Okay. So was Powers of X? Is this all one story or is it?
It's intertwined story. So
Okay.
6 issues each,
Mhm.
but they intertwine.
Okay.
And so earlier what we were talking about when you were talking about Jonathan Hickman and how you kind of use his writing as like a judgment of
Yeah.
what's good. As you were saying that, I started thinking like do I remember like Jonathan Hickman's work? Like, and I did because when I was reading Secret Wars when it came out and the Avengers and all that, there's a lot of like complex, I guess like rules to his writing or to his story.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not just here's a bad guy, here's a good guy. There's like a lot of like gray area in a lot of what he does and what he writes, especially for these characters. And for me, it's hard for me to like really like comprehend what he's writing sometimes.
Yeah.
And not to say that it makes it bad. It makes me like really think about like, oh, these are comic books, but it makes me think on a bigger scale than that. For example, in his Avengers run, in his New Avengers, the Illuminati has to stop incursions, right? But there's a whole complex idea of what an incursion is.
Yeah.
You know?
If they get to a point where it's like no, saving our world means that we have to completely annihilate a whole nother world.
A whole nother universe.
Yeah.
And it's like to think on that scale, like, no, you're not just an Earth.
And some of the guys are just like, yeah, no, it makes sense because I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And I have to save, like, my job is to save everybody on this earth.
Yeah.
But then some of the other guys, like Black Panther, is just like really struggling with it.
Because it's the weight of trillions of lives that you're essentially putting on killing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you, to write that and to be like, yeah, this is the idea I want to go with. It's like, damn, like that's good to put that sort of weight on a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know you can lift a car and like ability to save people.
Yeah.
But can you hold the weight of an entire or multiple universes that you've destroyed?
Yeah.
And so, thinking about that, I was like, damn. Jumping into House of X and Powers of X, Jonathan Hickman really kind of like not puts them in a corner, but like makes mutant kind like kind of really step up and like put everything they got into this.
Mm-hmm.
And like the scale and the weight of all of it really comes through not even that long into the story. You really start to like from the get you feel like this is not just an X-Men story. This is universe changing. This is epic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, have you read it?
No, not
No.
yet.
Okay. So it's kind of hard to like really throw out where it starts and like how to follow it because it does jump around a lot. So I'll kind of start with like where I remember like the main, what I would call like the main run through line of the X-Men. The mutants are tired of being almost extinct all the time.
Yeah.
It seems like almost every few years something happens where they're just at their wit's end.
Mm-hmm.
They're struggling to survive, whether it's humans just hunting them down and treating them like shit.
They can never just live in peace for more than like a couple of years.
Yeah. Or Scarlet Witch saying, "Oh, no more mutants."
Yeah.
You know, there's always something preventing them from reaching that status of the next step in evolution. And so Charles and Magneto decide that, well, Charles really decides that he needs to give mutants their own place. And so it starts with I think it's in Australia. I want to say
Those mutants love
they
Australia.
really do. I've seen that. It's like,
That's where they went, man. In one, say the Mutant Massacre.
yeah, when no one knew that they were still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They went to Australia.
Actually, let's go back a little bit more. I'll just kind of give like the breakdown. So there's this island called Krakoa, and it's essentially it's a mutant island because it's technically alive. It has like a presence, and that's where they decide to set up this island. And they do it because this island is a mutant island. It can pretty much give them and work with them in symbiosis in a way where only mutants can survive here, and like they can do so much more here that they couldn't do there, on the mainland. So they have this island where only mutants can live.
Yeah.
And they want to be recognized as a nation, as its own place in the world.
Yeah.
And so Charles comes up with this idea to basically give the world, bribe them pretty much. He has a drug that'll extend their life by 5 years. He has all this other stuff that he's willing to just give them for free as long as you recognize this nation as...
Charles, you can't have your own island. You sure?
You want 5 extra years?
You sure about that?
Hey, my friend. You like 5 years? 5 extra years?
I got 5 years right here. You want to see it?
Just sign this. I'm a nation.
Right here. The pen's right here. Just sign it.
See, and that's where it's difficult to even explain the story because it jumps in so many different ways. Because it jumps into the future, it jumps into the past, it jumps into different timelines in a way. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where everything kind of sits. But the whole thing is the mutants are never going to be safe.
No.
Really, is what it's getting at. No matter what they do.
Wait, real quick, what year was this story?
2019.
Okay. So yeah, we're in 2023 right now.
Yeah.
And in the current comics, that place isn't safe.
No.
Not at all.
A lot has happened in these current years, which actually made me want to read the story because I'm really interested in what's going on now in the books, and especially what happened in Judgment Day and how that was able to go down. So we also pop in with Moira. For some reason, is her Moira McTaggart? Is that her last name?
Yeah, McTaggart.
Because in the book, I think
Unless
they gave her
it
like a
changed.
last name. They gave her a different last name.
And maybe it's a different one.
Yeah. But essentially, we follow her, and we find out that she's a mutant as well.
Yeah.
So her mutant power is reincarnation.
Yes. Which leads to a lot of problems in the future as well.
So in this story, we find out that she lives a life, dies, lives another life, has vague memories of the past life, but doesn't think anything of it, dies again, comes back, has more of those memories, and starts thinking something's off. Dies and comes back, realizes I'm a mutant. And then she starts to figure out, how do I make a difference? Because she still lives those lives in normal X-Men storylines where we see her, she sees all the stuff happening to mutants and everything, and then when she dies, she's like, okay, I gotta make it better. So she's using all this knowledge to kind of...
She's going back to that?
So she gets reborn as herself, but she has all that prior knowledge of what happened with other...
But when she's reborn, she's reborn at that time.
No, she starts her whole life all over again.
Okay, so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Because in the Sins of Sinister story, it's going right now, Sinister gets a hold of her DNA and manipulates it so he can use it as a save point. So he does something and then goes through life how it should. But if something doesn't work out, then he resets and goes back to that point and does it over again.
Yeah, but in a different way.
And tries to fix it, and then just keep doing that.
Yeah. So she's trying to do all this stuff to like pretty much make sure life can continue on for mutants. And she does it all different types of ways. She becomes a killer. She becomes the Moira that we see throughout the normal books where she's helping Charles out. She even at some point becomes like an equal to Apocalypse, where I think they're like lovers because they know that like they need to be the wall between extinction and mutant kind.
Yeah.
So that's kind of her storyline up to a certain point.
Okay.
Then we follow the X-Men kind of moving into Krakoa, and we see the backstory of how everything kind of comes together. Emma Frost is involved in sort of like she's sort of like the face of it, because right now she's running the Hellfire Corporation. So multinational company, big, multi-billion-dollar like contracts.
The Hellfire guy was coming up this year.
Maybe you'll see us there. So yeah, she's running this, and they basically just go up to her and say, "Hey, we want you to be the face of this. We want you to be to help us get these drugs, so everybody, you know. And if they don't want to sign the accords, maybe some black market stuff, you know, get to them."
Yeah, I mean, there's no money in these pages.
But like, you write down a number.
Just look at it.
And the answer is yes.
just let us know.
So, we see the backstory of how, and it almost kind of seems like Charles, we were talking about this earlier, like, Charles Xavier is a menace.
Yeah.
As good as his intentions are, he's woefully arrogant. Yeah. But not in a way where it's like, I don't care, like, I'm the smartest guy there is, and I don't care what happens. Like, it's going to happen the way I want it to.
Yeah.
But more like, he's just struggling to find some way to, like...
He has, like, this childlike belief in humans, and that he just thinks that, like, no, if you just, like, treat them the way that, like, you want to be treated, then things are just going to turn out great for us. Or if you just, like... And it's never... In all of their history, it's never done that.
Yeah.
Like, there's some stragglers here and there that are like, oh, yeah, no, like, you guys are people, too. Like, there's obviously some people like that in the world, but no. That's not how it's going to work. But you just keep gaslighting, like, your whole team and letting them believe that, like, all you have to do is this, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it never is.
Yeah. And, like, I want to almost give him the benefit of the doubt, because at this point, this is, like, his last chance. Like, and it's such a good, like, idea, if you think about it. I'm going to give all humankind this land where we can just govern ourselves and be ourselves and not have to worry about hatred and this and that. And, like, it's almost hard to see where that can go wrong.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Because you're getting all mutants together, not just the good mutants we've seen, but all of them. Shaw, Apocalypse, you know.
Which is wild. You should not. I mean, I get why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But you should not invite Apocalypse to your island.
Sinister's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're inviting all your enemies there to live on this island in peace, and that's a risk right there. So to even take that risk, you have to have what you feel is like the ace in the hole. Like, this is the answer to everything. And I mean, we know because it's comics, like nothing ever lasts, but you still like you have to know that these minds, these egos, these people together doesn't is not going to work out. And so yeah, you can just kind of see from the planning stages of how everything's working out. You can kind of see where they make the mistakes of who they let in and how much power they give. So this island nation of Krakoa is where, and he has these huge ideas. Like, it's not that he wants them to live there; he wants them to thrive. And so, he's found out a way to essentially make more mutants immortal. Any mutant, anything immortal. And so what he does, he has, I think it's 5 mutants. I forgot exactly who. There's a character named Goldballs. I think her name's Tempest, if I remember correctly. Hope. Who else is there? But essentially, he can create like these eggs, and he uses the DNA from the mutant. He uses one mutant's like time powers to kind of speed up the process. Hope can pretty much have everybody who's involved with it, their powers work in unison to. Because if they were to do it just without Hope, it wouldn't work. But she's able to kind of get everybody's power and like equal everything out just enough to where it can create a body.
Yeah. Did you say unisons?
Unisys? Unisons?
Unison?
Unison?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the right word?
Unison.
Unison.
Yeah, I think you said unisons.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, they can create a husk, what they call a husk.
Yeah.
And that's essentially just a body. There's no personality in there. But that's where Charles comes in. Because he has a new upgraded Cerebro that he wears. It's like a helmet with the X on it. Which I think is so stupid.
It covers like his whole face.
It looks so stupid. But I mean, technology-wise, I guess like he went from that huge-ass room to just this helmet.
So I've never seen the Tron movies, but I feel like that's what like a Tron like light rider would be wearing, like his mask. I'll pull it up so you guys can see it.
But what he essentially does is every week he uploads every mutant. He uploads their consciousness to a backup.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like every month he uploads that consciousness onto another one. And so one is like, and it's like all their thoughts,
it's just like when your cell phone backs up.
Yeah. It's everything.
Yeah.
And so he can, when you die, you get reborn, and then you just implant your thoughts and everything that you had up to that, prior to that death, into your.
Him doing this is part of why the Sins of Sinister event is happening.
Yeah, because you know why? He gives Sinister the task of basically getting all the genetic DNA for every mutant and storing it.
He is the last person.
He's not even a mutant.
No. No. That's one thing. One, he's not a mutant. He should not be there. You guys should not have let
his whole thing has just been about stealing
mutants.
Experimenting on mutants.
That's been this
against
whole
their
thing.
will.
And then you guys are like, come on, man. Come on. And then you give him the open ability to take in all of their DNA.
Yeah. And store it.
Yeah. And then I'm telling you, that Sins of Sinister story, he goes nuts with it. It's just like, okay, it was like, oh, let's make a clone of Jean Grey.
Yeah.
That was 20, 30 years ago.
This man moved on
yeah,
from that.
This man went nuts with it. And this is what he looks like now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, guys.
And in
See
that,
Charles.
that shot right there,
Yeah.
that's the first time we see him kind of bringing the team back to life.
Mhm.
And that shot gave me the heebie-jeebies.
He's like, ooh.
Because it's almost like he feels like he's coming off as like some sort of god.
Mhm.
Like, I can just bring people back to life and like come, like rise. And it's just like, it feels like there's too much power there.
He's a menace.
And so, yeah, we find out that that's what the island can do. They can teleport. You can open portals from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They have they have bases all over the world. So like those portals, you can literally be in Australia. Next thing you know, you're on Krakoa. Next thing you know, you can be in Africa within seconds of just walking through a portal. So this island is like really a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as we start going through the story more, we kind of start jumping into the future. So we see that mutant kind is not making it, no matter what. Moira sees, like, no matter how hard she's trying, she can't figure out where it goes wrong. She may live a few years longer in some places, but mutant kind still falls. And she realized she only has 10 lives to live, and she's lived most of them already. So she dies, comes back, and realizes this is where she has to make that stand, and that's where she lives long enough to team up with Apocalypse. Because then it jumps, I think, 1,000 years in the future. Mutant kind is pretty much non-existent. There's maybe, I want to say 6, like, X-Men left, and it's just like a Mod Podge group of Wolverine's still alive.
Of course.
Apocalypse is leading, and Wolverine is like, all right, boss, what do we need to do? Like, he's down for it. He's down for Apocalypse. Like, that's how bad things are. Who else? And then this is where Sinister kind of comes into play, because at some point he started creating like matches of different mutants, and for the purpose of creating like an army. There were some that, so he started doing it, but then it got to a point where they started being made, but with like a passive nature, so that they didn't want to fight at all. And that kind of became like a downfall. And then they get to another generation of them where they're pretty much there to kind of be like cannon fodder. So at some point it just starts degrading less and less into being anything that's valuable to mutant kind. So yeah, there's Wolverine, Apocalypse, and Moira, and a few other characters, and they're being hunted by Master Mold. Oh no, not Master Mold. Nimrod.
Okay.
So Nimrod, this future is being pretty much overrun by machines at this point. Mutants are non-existent. Humans are pretty much just slaves. They're like just under the heel of machines. So the X-Men launched an attack to basically find out where Nimrod was created, to go back and stop it. And they do that. They find out when, they download into a crystal, and Apocalypse had upgraded Moira with like this device to where essentially it downloads all the information from the crystal into her mind, and then they kill her. So that she has all that knowledge now, but now she can restart her life with what she knows and stop them. So that happens. They find out that this group of mutant haters that were built by like Hydra, AIM, X-Hammer,
When
Shields.
did all these other fucking companies get into the mutating thing.
Well, I think these are like a small group of people that left those places to start their own,
Oh, okay.
and they build this space station up in space. And essentially, what it is it's a mother mold. So it's a mother mold that's going to build master molds to build sentinels, and it's just floating up in space. And the X-Men find out that that's where Nimrod was created, and so they launch a plan like this is where it has to end. So they go up there. I think it's Wolverine, Angel, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Nightcrawler. Who else? Monet. I don't know what her full name is, but she turns in like red with like spikes and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
And someone else, but they fly up to space. They get there. They land, and the people on the station are like, nothing's fully active yet. They're still building.
Yeah.
But as soon as they find out that the X-Men are there, they blow up part of the station where they docked, killing Angel, killing I guess someone else too. At least 2 people die in that explosion alone. Then they're like, shit, we gotta just get things going. Let's go. So they jump into the station, and basically the mother mold is a huge sentinel face, but it's being held in this circular station by like these clamps with 4 of them. So their plan is to basically destroy the clamps so that the mold just falls into the sun and that's it. So they do it, but they meet resistance obviously. So Mystique's there too. I think because they land on one clamp, so when they blow that up, that's one down. They run through. Mystique almost gets one, but the guy who blew up the small section, his wife, kills her before she can get that one off. Essentially, they get 3, but they all die. So they're no more. Jean stays on the ship because she has to be the link between Professor on Earth and everyone else on the team. Cyclops gets murked pretty bad. Who else? And then there's just one more clamp left. And I thought this seemed pretty cool. So there's one more clamp left. And it's Nightcrawler and Logan. And they're staring out at it from the space station. But they can't get to it in time to like where it is. So they're like talking, and Logan's like, "Do you think that there's anything after life?" And Nightcrawler like puts his arm around him. He's like, "If there is, like, come find me." And those are like their last words, and he teleports them out into space. Nightcrawler like incinerates or just like not disintegrates, vaporizes because he's so close to the sun like instantly. Logan's like falling apart, but he's just like clawing away at the clamp before he can do it. Luckily he gets it, but he's disintegrated as well. Marvel Girl's the only one who got away because she's like on a escape pod. But as they entered, like they got close enough to the space station, the alarm started going off. So the agents on the station called in. I think they had like a bunch of like sentinels on Venus that they were like using for like mining and stuff like that. They called them over to the station. So while she's floating in like this like escape pod, they finally arrive and just tear it up. Like they fuck her up. And then they all die. All X-Men are dead. Right? And then
this is emotional.
That's where we see them back on Krakoa, and that's where Charles brings them back to life. And it's like, it still sucks because it's like, is that really them? Like, did they die? They died, but like, is it really them?
Yeah, from what I've seen with like the regenesis process that they have, it doesn't seem to always bring them back to like the full like really them completely. Like I mean, yeah, it's their backup, but it doesn't seem like it does the job at 100%.
Yeah, and so like he brings them back and to kind of show mutants that they have control and like everything. They they bring them like they're butt naked.
Yeah.
They bring them out and like all the mutants are like watching and Storm's on the stage and she brings each of them out and just like, you know this person? I know this is my brother. Like this is Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
And like, do you know my brother? And everybody's like, yeah, Cyclops. And like she does it to everybody. Like she like brings each one of them out and like shows that like
You know this girl? You know her? This is my sister.
so like she brings all of them out and like shows that like they're immortal.
Mm-hmm.
You can die, but we're gonna bring you back.
Think you can fuck with us? Look at this. They died. But did they?
Yeah, that's
They're
essentially what she's saying.
They're here. We can't be stopped.
So like there's that. And then this is where like the Jonathan Hickman like kind of like hard for me to comprehend kicks in. Because in the future, now we're talking about artificial intelligence and like machines that are not only taking over they're taking over planets to turn into giant supercomputers to basically take over pockets of the universe, if I'm understanding correctly. And then there's like something that's above all that is like more than artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I gotta read this.
It's nuts.
This is my next read.
There's a whole bunch. It just jumps from like now to the future to this character and how they tie in, and then Nimrod is here and he's taking up. It's just a whole lot.
Yeah, this
like,
is my next read. Even that DJ just went off.
this is why I wanted to read the Sins of Sinister, or like read this so I can read Sins of Sinister, because I feel like that's nuts. And like
it's not the. You've helped me with this to understand a little bit more of the Sinister stuff. And it definitely makes more sense now than it did 24 hours ago. So yeah, now I'm going to give it another chance.
Yeah, overall, the story was like...
Yeah, I'm reading.
And like I've said it before on the show, like I have a hard time reading the X-Men books when we were reading them prior, mostly just because it was like they were always just kind of up to the same thing. This kind of felt like a refresher to me, and I liked what run was that? It was like I think the Brian Michael Bendis run of like Uncanny X-Men and all that. Like I really liked those ones too because it was something like the X-Men are just always up to like some weird shit.
Yeah, they're it is sometimes it does seem a little stale because like I don't even know if stale is the right word because it is. I mean it's true to life really. Like they kind of are like no matter which like group of people that you can think of that's been mistreated in America or like wherever, and they're just mistreated because of what they are. Like they fit in that group, right? But that's kind of always like their thing. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you guys like us? I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on, do you like us? No. We want to kill you. We want you all dead. Like, it's kind of always the same thing. And like, I mean, yeah, there's different things like there's Inferno, like Days of Future Past. Like, those are the ones that I can think of the most. That's what I've read, like the older stuff. But yeah, I'm reading this next.
Yeah. This is a good one. I'd say definitely read it because it's also like it's refreshing because it puts them on a totally different status quo of like where they're starting. Like this is it's very positive, you know, but you definitely it's positive in a way you're like this can't last, you know. You already see the cracks starting to begin, and now you just want to see what's under those cracks. And like the characters involved too, like I mean they don't get a bunch of like time, but like there's like a few pages with like Sabretooth in there that I really enjoy because he just seems like he's just so bad, so evil for no reason. But it's just like I want to keep reading it, like his stuff.
Yeah, there's he has a series going on Sabretooth and the Exiles.
Yeah,
I wanted to read that.
I might start reading that one too after I finish this one.
Yeah, check that out.
But yeah, this has made me want to keep reading the current X-Men stuff just to see like where it leads up to and how like it works.
Yeah.
So I would say for anybody wanting to read something and where to jump off, this is a great jumping off point. Almost like a reboot in a way. You don't have to know much about existing X-Men stories to know what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's 12 issues really, and it breaks down like the main points. And like I said, it's some stuff is hard to comprehend, but I don't think it's hard enough to where you're not going to understand what's happening in the story. You'll sort of get it as you just keep reading and what comes along with it.
Yeah, I'm checking. Yeah, as soon as I'm done with Secret Wars, I might jump to this.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That was fun. I like that. That's like one of the first like ones we've gone through where I was just like, because sometimes we go through events and like you'll do one and then like okay, that was cool. I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah.
But it was cool. But like this is like one of the first ones where it was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like I gotta read through that. I gotta check that out.
I would say check it out. Art's really good too.
Really?
The coloring and the line work, really good. Forgive me because I don't remember who did it, but I have seen their stuff before, and very vibrant, very like detailed.
As long as it's not that guy.
Trust me, I wouldn't recommend it if it was. The story could be great, but I would not recommend.
Like, I'm not gonna get into it again. But yeah, that was it. We're gonna get out of here today. At the time of recording, today is the second day of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I gotta prep for that.
What do you have to do to prep?
I gotta go make sure all my blankets are ready. Make sure nobody's watching anything on the big TV. And just chill.
Put a paper on there, reserved.
Yeah. I should do that. Reserved from 5 to 9 p.m.
Come in mid-movie. You gotta go.
Hey.
I already set it up on the other TV.
Nah. Hey, go. Get out of here. I was a little upset yesterday with day one. Because
I heard John Cena lost.
he did. This is not comic book related at all, but I made fun of John Cena a lot, but when he like left and started doing movies is when I was like, I kind of wish he would be back. And now he's like really enjoyable to watch. But yeah, he lost yesterday. The only other match I really cared about yesterday was the Usos and the Usos against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because the Usos have had the tag belts for like over 600 days.
Yeah.
And they've just been. They've had like the greatest storyline with Roman Reigns over the last like 3 years, and my favorite part about it has been the fact that like normally in wrestling, like the heel, the bad guy, comes in and says, "Oh, I'll kick your ass," and then gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Or every once in a while he wins and then like not on the best, and then like they're kind of like chicken shit heels, like, "Oh, like I'll kick your ass," and then like the face comes in and is like, "Oh, say it to my face," and then like he's running off. Like Roman Reigns for the last 3 years has been. This has been Jonathan Hickman level, right? Like he's. Every time he's walked up and said, "I will beat the dog shit out of you," he's gotten into that ring and beaten the dog shit out of everyone. And hasn't run from a single person. So Roman's had his belts for, I think, over 900 days now, which is ridiculous. And so the Usos had their tag belts for 620 something days. And they fucking lost yesterday. And I get it. Story-wise, I get it. But I wasn't happy about it. And then Roman Reigns has the main event today against Cody Rhodes. And I swear to God, if he loses that match, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going.
Cody Rhodes just came back, right?
Yeah, like maybe like a year ago.
It's like his biggest match though.
Since he's come back, yeah. Because he came back like a year ago, then he got hurt. He tore his pec. That shit was nasty. He tore his pec and then still had a match after that, and like all from right here to like up here, fat ass bruise all in that area. It looked. I'll send you a picture of it later. That was disgusting. I don't know how he wrestled like that. I feel like putting on a shirt with that would hurt. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
It's commitment, though.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. They put their bodies on the line. People, I know it's fake, but
yeah, I mean, you're still throwing yourself over ropes and jumping off the ladders. You you can't fake that.
Mick Foley got thrown 16 feet off the top of a cage.
Yeah.
Into a table.
You gonna tell me that's fake?
Yeah. Like, yeah, they planned it.
Yeah.
But still, somebody fucking planned to get thrown off the fucking cage, 16 feet in the air, through a table.
Yeah, and like he barely hit the table.
Yeah, his shoulder clipped the table from 16 feet up, and then yeah. So for everybody who says it's fake, I don't care. Almost every show that I watch is fake.
Yeah, everything we watch is fake.
I watch Marvel movies. I read. They're saying, what's his name? Not Coulson. Dude from, first of all, what were we talking about?
Wrestling.
Yeah, so
Not fake.
Not fake.
Totally real.
It's totally real. I watch it all the time. Most of the shows you watch are fake. We're on a comic book podcast, so if you've made it this far, everything that we're just enjoying is fake, okay? But real quick, you were off camera. We were just talking about Secret Invasion because the trailer drops today. By the time this comes out, it's already out. But they were saying that what's the dude's name? He's in Black Panther.
Oh,
the white dude. Yeah, they're saying because he's in that show.
Is he?
In Secret Invasion. Yeah. Now they're saying that it was the one that was in Black Panther, the Skrull? Or is he a Skrull? Or because this is happening. Secret Invasion is happening after, timeline-wise, after Black Panther.
Oh.
And at the end of Black Panther,
he gets
he's arrested
and then released.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's like in like a suit and everything here. Oh.
Who's a Skrull? Who knows? They just did a Secret Invasion limited series.
Oh yeah, how was that? You read it?
It was good. The Skrulls found a way to kind of just to not get detected, and then found out that like they've been on Earth for like years, and nobody really knew. But it was good. It was a little 5-issue series. But that's all I got.
Alright, that's all I got.
Let's get out of here.
Alright, folks. Thanks for listening and watching. Remember, like, subscribe,
Like, subscribe,
share, follow,
give us some comments,
interact with us.
please.
I keep saying it. I think our cousin from Mexico added me. That's the only person that's.
I had a few people add my personal this week.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't even know if he followed me due to the show or just because.
I don't know. They didn't say anything. But I figured that's, I feel like a lot of pages deal with stuff like that. They just get a whole bunch of followers and nobody says anything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get some comments out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Shoot me a follow requests. I'll follow you back. You know, I post a lot of like little comics in my stories.
It's a lot of depression.
Is that what that is? That's something funny jokes.
Yeah, they're all real funny, man. Just don't forget, we love you. Alright, guys. Like he said, do all those things. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back in a few weeks. We'll see you then. Peace.
Adios.